So Jeezy and Gucci had a versus. So we TV wanted Love After Lockup versus Life After Lockup. I see what y'all did, but we're gonna talk about it. Hey boos, welcome back. This is, y'all don't get me the line, I believe this is still in season 3, episode 19. Y'all know I always mess up the season, the episode. I don't never know the title of the episode, but y'all come back and watch a girl every week anyway, and I love y'all for it. So for that simple reason, we finna get straight into it because y'all already know it's a fool. I want to start with Chevelle and Kweilyn. So y'all, we start the scene with Chevelle as throwing all Kweilyn's shit out the window. I looked out the window and I said, well damn, he got about 5 outfits out there and a couple pair of drawers, maybe a couple pairs of socks. That's what I caught. And so, but Chevelle is pissed. She's livid. So then it shows her walking down the driveway and she kicked her Monica kitten heels off in the middle of the street, and then she sit down on the pavement. And I said, girl, what is going on? And she said that she was absolutely livid with Kweilyn's ass. She said he fell asleep last night and she decided to go through his phone. Me personally, I just feel like, you know, if you're in a relationship and y'all supposed to be in a committed relationship, then if you're gonna do the going through the phone thing, you do it while that person have knowledge that you're doing it. Some of that, baby, hand me your phone, or can I use your phone? And then if they start, you know, moving about a little weird, then y'all can have a conversation. But I don't agree with going through the phone while your partner is asleep. Like, you know, I understand if you're an insecure person. I actually did a video on that. If y'all have not watched it, go to my dealing with insecurities while you're in a relationship video. Y'all like how I put that plug in there right quick. But anyway, if you have insecurities in your relationship, I understand that, but I just feel like when you do, like when you make moves like that, it makes the situation worse instead of making it better. But long story short, she went through this fool phone last night, and there was conversation between him and another female. And the female ended up saying, I cannot wait to see your fine ass ping. And I said, oh, because Miss Girl in the text message had the eggplant emoji. And they had bleeped out the word that she used. So, you know, I'm sure that the word that was right there had rhymed with stick. So she can't wait to see the stick. And so, you know, Chevelle put 2 and 2 together, and so she's saying that they gotta be messing around, because you wouldn't be allowing nobody else to talk to you like this if it wasn't something going on. So she is absolutely over the shit, okay? And so they get her in the confessional. And so the producers are like, so have you talked to the girl? She was like, nah, I wanted to call her, but you know, I just decided not to. And so, you know how production is. They super messy. So they done got Chevelle to call the girl. So the girl like, hello. She said,
who is this? Who is this? This is Kweilyn's girlfriend. Who is this?
Long story short, Chevelle never got a name. She never got any type of proof that her and the girl was messing around, because every time Chevelle asked the girl a question, she said maybe, maybe not. But when she first initially said, this is Kweilyn's girlfriend, the girl said, who is Kweilyn? So I don't know if Kweilyn done gave this girl an alias, but y'all don't ever forget on episode 1, Kweilyn told y'all that's not his name. His name is not Kweilyn, it's Kweilyn. So maybe, you know, she thinks she been talking to Kweilyn, Quavo, you know what I'm saying, QQ Goody. I don't know who the bitch been talking to, but she was playing games with Chevelle, and Chevelle was over it. So Chevelle done cussed the girl out. hung up on her, and let that be that. 2 minutes later, Kweilyn ass called. And when he called, before he could get a word in edgewise, she started snapping. She's like, yeah, I just talked to you, little bitch, and da-da-da-da. And he's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I went through your phone. I saw everything that was going on with you and these other females and this, that, and the third. He's like, look, I can explain that. I have a valid reason for those females being in my phone. I can explain it. She didn't want to hear it. He was like, okay, I see you not going to let me talk, so I'll see you when I get home. And he hung up. Well, baby, why did he do that? Because when he got home and was ready to talk about the situation, she was still on 1,000. She was studying. They was standing outside, and she was still going off on him. She said, yeah, it wasn't just no 5 or 6 messages between you and a particular female. It's thousands of messages with you and other bitches. So you basically been around here playing me the whole damn time. Y'all gonna see me murk my phone on camera one day, and it's gonna be like an episode of Snapped. I swear my phone do not start making no type of notification noises until I get on this camera. I'm sick of it. So anyway, she snapped on him about having thousands of messages between him and other females, and so his only rebuttal to that shit was, well, excuse the hell out of me for having bitches in my phone, but I've only been locked up around a bunch of men for 12 years. So he felt like he had a valid excuse, and he was saying that the messages that were in the phone are extremely old messages. But Chevelle was making it seem like these messages are very recent. So I don't know how true that is, but I guess at some point we'll find out which one of them was telling the truth. The long story short of that argument was Chevelle calls him a fuckboy, and then she walks off. He was like, oh, so you walking off? She said, yeah, I'm walking off, and I think you should do the same. So he was like, well, I'll do that. Somebody in a little red car comes to pick him up. She's still outside snapping on him. She done hit the trunk of that car like, bye, honey, bye, be gone. And so, you know, Kweilyn is just looking like, it is what it is. This girl is not letting me get a word in edgewise. So, you know, this is the love of my life. But if I can't make her see that there's nothing going on there, then I'm not going to try to fight for it. That was the impression that I got, was he just doesn't have it in him to fight for the relationship the way that Chevelle is looking for him to fight. And so in Chevelle's confessional, she had completely broke down and she was crying, and she said she just can't believe that Kweilyn has played her like this, and that it ever got to the point where she allowed Maila to call him daddy, and for, you know, for him to be out here acting like this. But Chevelle, you already know I've been snapping on that ass from day one for letting your daughter call this man dad, and he was not out in the free world yet. And now you see exactly why I was snapping on your ass the way that I was. And I'm one of the believers that, you know, you really don't know somebody until you live with that somebody. Y'all can be boyfriend, girlfriend forever. Y'all can be fiance together, but until y'all actually live together, that's when you actually know a person, and you can truly say that you know them and know their mannerisms. Because, you know, when you live with somebody, you're gonna see every single emotion that they go through at some point. So Chevelle, this is just a case of you have moved too fast. Now rumor has it, in my Adele voice, that that Chevelle and Kweilyn are broken up. So I guess that was the final straw for her, or either, you know, he just got tired of trying to prove himself. I don't know which one, but I can't really say that I'm upset if you guys are broken up, because neither one of y'all were ready. Neither one of y'all were ready. Chevelle, go somewhere and love yourself, and Kweilyn, you just get adjusted to the free world and then come back and try again later. That's all I got for y'all. and Lindsay. All right, Scott and Lindsay are up. It looks like it could be like early in the morning or something like that. Scott has him a cup of coffee and he is making Lindsay orange juice and Grey Goose. So she on OJ and vodka. And so he takes her cup in there, and then he's like, you know, it looks like you're getting ready to go. And she was like, yeah, you know, I'm leaving for my photo shoot. So she's in there and she's packing up her little suitcase with all her change of clothes and this, that, and the third. And he said, what kind of photo shoot is it? And she said, it's basically just a portfolio. I used to model back in the day, and you know, I would get modeling gigs here and there and the third. And you already know you have to have a portfolio with you to do modeling. So she's just basically going to update her portfolio. And so Scott gonna make a comment and say, well, you know, you're not 18 anymore. She said, yeah, I know that. He said, you know, I just don't know if this type of career is going to be fruitful for you or whatever, you know, considering that you're not a spring chicken anymore, you're a little older. And she said, well, thank God that they look for older models as well. I felt like that was a very rude way to put it, how Scott put it. But I think that he was purposely trying to take that jab, and she just really wasn't trying to pay him no attention at that time. And so then he goes in to say, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. She said, well, it's a good thing that you don't have to. You ain't got to like it because I'm going to do it either way. I don't know. I'm just confused. And then on Lindsay's end, I don't never see no type of love or affection on her end. I mean, I know she'll hug him. She'll kiss him on the cheek. But I don't know. It's almost like the hug and the kiss that you'll give your favorite uncle. Because you know that he gonna get you whatever you want. You know, uncle gonna look out for you regardless. So that's the vibe that I get from them. But you know, if they like it, I love it. So long story short, Scott ends up having to take Lindsay to the damn photo shoot, which was right up Scott's alley, because you know, had anybody else took her, he was probably gonna follow them to the damn photo shoot anyway to see what the hell was going on. So while she's changing into her first look, he asked the photographer if he could step outside so that they could have a word. When they get outside, he's like, so you've worked with her before? Mind you, Lindsay had already told him that she had worked with this photographer before. So anyway, the photographer is like, yes, you know, we worked together before, whoopty whoopty whoop. And he was like, so what kind of photos have you all done in the past? And what kind of relationship do you all have? And he was like, it's very professional. And he was like, well, you know, can you just go into a little more detail? Because some people consider pornography professional, but you know. And I'm just like, Scott, if you gotta be this insecure in the relationship, you need to just get out of it. But anyway, so the photographer was like, I mean, strictly professional photos. Like, it's, you know, nothing racy or nothing like that. So he was like, oh, okay. So then they stepped back in, and she was like, did you ask all the questions that you needed to ask? He said, yes, you know, I've already grilled him and I'm good. She like, you done grilled him? He said, yeah, you know, not really grilled him, but, you know, just, you know, I asked enough questions to get to my comfortability level. And so you could tell how irritated she was, but at the same time, she wasn't going to let that ruin her vibe of the photo shoot. Because Miss Girl had to put on her different looks and give. So, you know, she was giving you, she gave you a little Mariah Carey and Dream, what's that song? Heartbreaker. She gave you a little Heartbreaker tease. She gave you Racer Girl. She gave a couple of looks. She was trying to give a little Angela Jolie. And the whole time Scott was just standing there looking. So I couldn't really gauge that look on his face. I don't know if it was the look of, damn, my baby fine, or was it the look of, you know, this is just too good to be true, and I know that she's out here doing something she ain't got no business. But all in all, the photo shoot went great. They got it done and over with, and she said that she feels like she would be a lot further in her modeling career if she wouldn't have never got locked up, which 9 times out of 10 that is true. She showed us a lot of pictures from her past, and she is very photogenic. She takes nice pictures. So you know, that scene is over. When they get back home, they show her taking little Molly Grace up the stairs, and she tells her to keep her eyes closed. When she gets up to the top of the stairs and she opens her eyes, she finally sees that her room is complete. So Scott has been putting in the work, putting in the time to get everything needed to get little Molly Grace's room done. And it actually does look really cute. She's got her little like canopy set up type of bed with some LED strips on the other side. Who knows, at some point she probably get her a little TV or gaming system put in there. I didn't see one at the time, but it looks like a little girl's room. So got that going on. Molly was very excited about it. She said she loves her room, and then she ends up leaving to go on a camping trip to her friend's house. Now, while all this is going on, Lindsay and Scott go out to the back porch. And when they go on the back porch, what Lindsay wants to talk to Scott about is Terabelle. So, you know, we all looking like, okay, this bitch finally finna, go ahead and spill the beans. But no, that wasn't it. So she wanted to ask if Terabelle could park her camper in their driveway because she doesn't have anywhere to put it at the moment. And he was like, well, you say Terabelle is your good friend, and I don't know anything about her to have anything against her, so I don't see why not. So she's extremely excited about that. She says she's still not going to tell him the truth about Terabelle and who she really is to her, but at some point she is going to do her best to slide Terabelle not only in the house but in her bed, because they have been in the bed, well, they've been in the house together for 5 weeks and they ain't been in the bed together. They have had a couple of sexual encounters, but they don't sleep together because of this snoring. But you want Terabelle to come in and sleep with you. I can't wait to see what happens when she actually finds out, when Scott actually finds out about Lindsay and Terabelle. And the last conversation was after, like I said, Molly Grace went off on her little camping trip or whatever. So Scott is like, all right, now we got the house to ourselves, so what do you want to do? You want to have Chinese food? She said no, because that's Molly Grace's favorite thing to do, so we're not having Chinese without her. And he was like, okay, well, what you want to do? It's whatever you want to do. She said, well, honestly, I just want to have a heart-to-heart. He's like, okay, what you want to talk about? And she said that she wanted to talk about invasion of privacy. She needs to know why, after they had such a big blow up about him going through her jail notes and saying, when he found that little letter that she wrote about pretty much finding her a man with some money and then coming up after she take the man money, she gonna leave him. And after that situation, he said that he would stop the snooping, but Lindsay says he haven't stopped none of that shit. She said he goes through pockets. If she come in the house, take a jacket off and drop it on the floor, he gonna come right back behind her, pick it up, go through the pockets like a homeless person looking for pennies. I said, well, damn. Scott says that he doesn't see it as being that drastic and that dramatic, but there is a conversation to be had. So I guess we'll see where that conversation ends up. They'll pick back up with that next week. So y'all, that was Scott and Lindsay. Shawn and Destiny. Now, y'all remember we left off last week. I told y'all that when Shawn came home, all of Destiny's shit was gone out the house. So, Shawn's ass is in a frenzy because he don't know where she's at and what's going on with her. So, what has happened is production comes over and he's like, look, I don't know where she's at, what could have happened to her. I don't know if she's out around here on drugs, or you know, if she just got tired of me, or what happened, because this has been a few weeks since the incident at the restaurant where Destiny and Kelly met up. He said he thought everything was good and all fine after that, so he don't know what could be going wrong. Now, his hope is that she is not running around here on drugs or nothing like that, because she still has a court date coming up in a few weeks and his ass is still on the hook for these same ass $50,000. So I feel like that's where majority of his worry and his nervousness is coming in at, is that he doesn't have a clue where Destiny is. Like, if she done went all the way back home and just gonna do what the hell she want to do, and now he's on the hook for these $50,000. I think that's where Shawn's head mainly is. But of course he does love Destiny and care for her, so he wants to know that she's okay, you know, anyway, regardless. But so he's walking production around the house. He like, see, the dresser empty, all these drawers empty, she done took everything she owned. Then he walks in the bathroom. He starts rummaging through some stuff. He was like, look, well, she left a little bit of stuff here. And then after he opened up one of the drawers, it was a pregnancy test in there. So he sees that she's used one of the pregnancy tests. So then he looks in the trash can. The wrapper of the test is in the trash can, but the actual test is not. Then we finally catch up with Destiny at some point, and she is just fussing. She says she's sick of Shawn. She's sick of his shit. She knows good and damn well that this man is still talking to Kelly after they did that whole blow up at the restaurant. And it's irritating to her because Shawn is trying to say, well, I only talk to Destiny when it's about the kids, or, you know, just to talk to my kids. But she said a lot of times when they are talking on the phone, it's at the times that the kids are in school. So she feels like these conversations have nothing to do with none of the kids, which could be true, could be false. But the way that Shawn is so in love with Destiny, I honestly think that, you know, they just have daily discussions about their kids. I really do feel like it's pertaining to kids. But I also feel like Kelly does still have feelings for Shawn. So, you know, I feel like majority of the contact probably comes from Kelly, but she's gonna always make sure that she incorporates the kids in the conversation so that Shawn will always answer the phone for her. I'm facing 7 years. So if I'm about to do 7 years of my life back in jail, I might as well stay out, have fun, and do what I want to do until they catch up with me, because I'm sick of it. It's how Destiny is feeling. Like, she's been out so long, at this point she doesn't want to go back to jail, so she'll rather just take her old routine like she's always done and let them catch her instead of her doing the right thing. She's got Shawn's credit card and she's driving Shawn's car. So I don't know how the hell she think that's gonna last long. Which, you know, we know she got a mouthpiece on her. So Shawn is stupid enough to, you know, not report none of this, even if he never catches up with her. But it looks like her bandit run is going to be short-lived, because she is in a lot of pain right now. She's not feeling good. She pulls over at a gas station, goes in the bathroom, and she said her stomach is feeling very strange and unusual, and it wasn't no hot sauce on my burrito, baby. It is a pain that she felt the last time she had a, what is it called? Ectopical pregnancy. Let me just say miscarriage, because I don't want to mispronounce nothing. So she feels like she's having a miscarriage, But she showed us the results from the pregnancy test that she took at Shawn's house, and the initial test said not pregnant. But she said that her period is a couple of days late, and her period is always on like clockwork. Her and Shawn have definitely been having unprotected sex, so she feels like that's what it is. I think I was watching Bondi Blue's review. I was watching somebody else's Love After Lockup review, and they were saying that Destiny has a whole bunch of kids that she don't take care of herself. Now, Destiny didn't say anything on this episode about having kids, but I haven't done my research to tell y'all if Destiny has kids or not. So if somebody knows, then drop down in the comment section and let me know how many kids does Destiny have of her own, because I feel like that makes her, the way that she acts towards Kelly, that makes her look even more young and just ignorant. Because if you are a mother, then you should know, in a positive co-parenting situation, the parents have to talk to each other. Like, let's just be realistic. So long story short, the pain that she's having in her stomach gets so severe that production ends up having to drive Shawn's car and takes her to the emergency room. So that's what we will pick up with Shawn and Destiny at next week, is figuring out why she's in the hospital and what she got going on. Sarah and Michael. Michael is still in New York, because y'all remember the last time we saw Michael, he was at little baby Anna's birthday party. Now, he's at the birthday party and shit went left, so he decided to leave after only being there. I think they said he was there, what, 5 or 10 minutes? I think 20 minutes at the most. So he's still at his hotel, and he done told Sarah that he was coming over to see his kids. Sarah done already let him know, you can't come over, Malcolm is here, da 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 da. He doesn't give a damn about that, because he ain't coming to visit Malcolm, he's coming to visit his kids. And I agree with him on that part. You know what I'm saying? If you're there, you're in town, you're willing, you're able, just make it happen. So they show him putting on this big old bear suit, and he said that when he was locked up, he used to have a character for what is the oldest girl's name? Let me see. The baby name is Aviana. Y'all, I done forgot the little girl name. But anyway, for their first child, their oldest child, he used to have a character for her named Mr. Blue. And whichever costume store he got this bear out of, they didn't have anything that would simulate Mr. Blue. So he ended up getting this big old teddy bear. And he said that that was Mr. Blue's helper. So I thought that was cute. And so they got Malcolm and all the kids at the house. They done woke up the next morning, and he's like, you know, y'all hungry? Y'all want some coffee and bagels? And I'm just thinking to myself, you know, them kids probably don't want no bagels. I guess he gonna get them some donuts or something, but whatever. And so he runs out to get breakfast, and of course, as soon as he pulls off, Michael pulls up. So Michael comes in with this whole costume on, and he does his thing, and the girls really did enjoy it. So I thought that little part was cute. But while he's still sitting there playing with the kids, Malcolm pulled back up. He comes in the house and he speaks, like, you know, like your mama tell you to do. When you come into a room, you speak. So Malcolm did just that, and he didn't get a response from Michael. Now, if you paid attention to how the commercials and how some of the editing was chopped up, I do feel like he probably did initially speak, you know, and when Malcolm spoke to him, I feel like Michael did speak back, because it looked like before they went to commercial break, it looked like Michael was walking into Malcolm to dap him up, or, you know, to, you know, hey, what's up, how you doing, blah blah blah. But we know how messy production is, so they have it set up to where it's looking like Michael is being really disrespectful and a little salty towards the fact that Malcolm is in the house. So, you know, he's speaking to him. He didn't get any response back. So then Malcolm goes in the kitchen and he's like, you know, so what's up, Mike? Like, you know, what's going on with you and these kids? Now, some of the questions that Malcolm was asking Michael, I felt like were a little evasive, because you're not Sarah's fiance. You have not been in a long-term relationship with Sarah. So whatever this man has going on with his children, at the end of the day, it's none of your concern. Even if Sarah asked you to ask this man these questions, that's still not your place. So I feel like you were overstepping your boundaries a bit, Malcolm, with that. But at the same time, y'all were having a nice man-to-man conversation. So, you know, kudos to both of you gentlemen for being able to just have a regular, normal conversation. The next day, or that same night, either way, Malcolm wanted to recap the day of Michael coming over to visit. Sarah was like, you know, hey, you know, it is what it is. And while Michael was there, Sarah also did apologize to Malcolm. I'm not really sure what for, because like I said, I don't feel like Michael did not acknowledge Malcolm, but that's what editing made it look like. And then Sarah apologized to Malcolm on Michael's behalf. So I don't know what was going on with that, but anyway, the recap that they had was basically saying that Malcolm feels like Sarah still has a lot invested in Mike. And so Sarah is frustrated because we know that he's definitely asked her a question like that before. And so her answer was still the same. She said, I just really need you to trust me and know that I would never try you like that. I love you. I respect you. And, you know, I know it seems like I do the most for this man, but she said that's just the type of person I am. I'm emotional about everybody. I care about everybody. So the same energy that I have for Mike, I'm going to have that energy for you, for my kids, or for anybody else that's in my circle. That's just who I am. I don't know if I'm necessarily falling for the bullshit, but that's what Sarah said. And she said that she really gets irritated with people thinking that every time she gets so hyped and emotional over Michael, that it means that she just want him oh so bad. And that's not the case. But we say that because that's what you've given us in the past. So we can only go off of your actions and what you've done. So until you prove something different, that's all we have to go by. I don't think they gave us any type of preview of what Malcolm, Michael, and Sarah got going on for next week. So they might not even be in next week's episode. I'm not sure. Andrea and Lamar. Andrea and baby Priscilla are having homeschool in the living room. And so she wants to do like a family tree. That's one of the school projects. So y'all, Andrea pulls out a photo album and she shows baby Priscilla her grandfather. And he is full-fledged African. Now, I don't know if I've been living under a rock, or, you know, like I said, if I just haven't done enough research on these people, but I had no idea that Andrea was, you know, part African. So that was neat for me to find out. And so she's sitting there pretty much trying to teach baby Priscilla some of her African heritage. And all of a sudden, you hear, my name is Lamar from around the way. I am black and I like to say, hey, 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 on a Christmas day. And I said, what is going on right here? Because, you know, all baby Priscilla wanted to do was get her education for the day. So Andrea flies in the room and she starts flickering the light because she's like, hello, why is this music so loud? And you know we're having school in the living room. He was like, oh, I was just trying to see what the song was hitting for, and whatever. And she said, basically, you need to start doing more around here. Like, it's more to this life than your music. And he was like, but this is how I make my money. What? You want me to stop? She's like, no, I don't want you to stop, but I want you to make the time to do everything that you need to do. You need to be more hands-on in helping Priscilla with her homeschool. You need to be more hands-on as far as the stuff that needs to be done around the house, and you need to do your job. Like, I'm getting ready to get up and get out of here and go to work, so you need to figure it out. So Andrea is just, frustrated with the fact that Lamar thinks that all he has to focus on is his music because that's his bread and butter. Y'all, I don't know who the hell is out here purchasing Lamar's music, but if he has a fan base and he's out here making money for his beats or his music or whatever, then, kudos to you, Lamar, because it ain't too many old heads that can survive the rap game these days. And that's just that. So, Andrea heads out for work, and so Lamar is now in the living room getting ready to help Priscilla with her schoolwork. And so she says, Andrea lets us know that she is back in the real estate business. So, she's not at home anymore. She's actually out on the market. And Lamar's like, yeah, go on out there and make my money and this and that and the third, just joking around or whatever. And then Andrea heads out for work for the day. So he finishes helping her with her family tree project, and so he pulls out his photo album. He's showing her a couple of pictures in the photo album, and then he starts showing her his tattoos. He starts showing her all of the people that is tattooed on his body that are no longer with us, okay? And altogether he had about 8 or 9 people on his body. And baby Priscilla was like, so all these people are dead? He said, yeah, baby, they dead. I said, well, I don't know if the baby really needed to know that, but I mean, to each his own. So she said, so what's in the black book? Because I think he had like 3 burgundy photo albums and 1 black one. So she wanted to know what was in the black photo album. And he said, can you keep a secret? And she was like, yes. And then they did a little pinky swear, and it went on to the next scene. So in the next scene, it shows Lamar talking on the phone, and he's dialing some girl named Shantae. So he's like, hey baby, what's up? So of course we all looking crazy like, hey baby, what's up? What's up is Andrea finna get that lip. That's what's up. But no, it ends up being his daughter. So Priscilla is not the only child that Lamar has out here in the world. So he's on the phone with Shantae, and he's saying, hey, I wanted to see you today, and this, that, and the third. And Shantae is just real dry and a bit standoffish with Lamar because they have a very strained relationship. It's been years since they've talked. It's been years since they have actually seen each other. And Shantae feels a way about it because she feels like Lamar could have made way more effort to be in her life, which I'm sure he could have. But his thing is he blames it on his incarceration, trying to be a good husband to Andrea, trying to hold down the household and the new family that he has. But like Shantae is saying, all of these things that you're naming have nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was here first, so I need to be a part of your priorities. You saying that Andrea and y'all's family is a priority, but I need to be top of that priority that you're speaking of. And I completely understand where she was coming from with that. Lamar says, I'm definitely not trying to look over your feelings or make you feel like you know how you feel is irrelevant, because it's not. But I'm just asking you to meet me halfway. And so she was like, so he wanted to know, could they meet up that day? And she was like, I guess. And then he said something about bringing Priscilla with him because he wanted her to meet her little sister. And that's when she immediately shut it down. She didn't want anything to do with Priscilla. And again, I don't think it had anything to do with Priscilla personally. It just has something to do with the fact that I need you to focus on me. I need you to focus on your firstborn. Like, I don't need you to be trying to make me and this new child come together and play patty cake with each other. Because if I'm not mistaken, Shantae is already in her 20s, or, you know, about to be in her 20s. And then we know Priscilla is only what, like 8? I think Priscilla is like 8. So, you know, you gotta give Shantae the time that she needs with you before you try to integrate both of your children. Like, you just gotta understand that, Lamar. So that whole meeting didn't go well. So it ended up with her saying, like she said, I might show up 9 times out of 10, I probably won't. And that's where that scene dropped off at, because it showed us a clip from them in the past as far as them meeting up. And the mother was there, Shantae was there, and Andrea got mad about something, and it showed her storming off from the situation. So I don't know what kind of relationship Andrea has concerning Shantae or Shantae's mom or any of that. But, you know, Shantae is a beautiful little girl, and she definitely does look like Lamar. So, you know, that's definitely his child. And it just is what it is. Shawn and Lacey, okay, they ain't had too much going on this particular episode, y'all. They're sitting in the bedroom and they're talking about their triplets, and she's like, oh my God, like what, and what are we gonna do with 3 kids? He said he don't know. And so then she goes into this weird conversation about, do you know that babies pee inside of you when you're pregnant? And he was like, so you got 3 babies peeing in you right now? And she's like, yeah, I do. They got all that old ignorant shit going on, talking about kids urinating in the belly. And so then he gets into a more serious conversation of, you know, I don't really know how I'm going to support these kids. I'm only 22 years old, and the job that I have, my pay rates vary. He says some days he can be doing forklift, sometimes he can be doing road work, sometimes he can be doing, he has various little odd hands-on type of jobs. You know what I'm saying? So it's constant work, but he doesn't have a steady income that he can just say, well, I know for a fact I'm gonna bring in this amount of money this month. So it's just really hard for him to wrap his mind around being the breadwinner of the house when it's going to be him, his wife, and their 6 children. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot for anybody. That's a lot for somebody with a stable job. So for a 22-year-old young man, I'm sure that is stressful as hell. But anyway, they are getting dressed and getting ready to go to their first ultrasound. Shane says that he is completely excited and he wants to know how the ultrasound process works. And she was like, look, they're just going to put some on my belly and then they'll be able to show you all the kids. And he was like, oh, okay, I thought they was going to use that other thing. And she was like, no, the long dildo looking thing, like, no, they not doing none of that today. And he was like, oh, all right. So they make it into the doctor's office and they're there getting the ultrasound. And so they lay back. The doctor's asking them how they been, how excited they are, this, that, and the third. And of course, they're happy-go-lucky, but still scared about the finances. So they get to looking at the babies, and so they look at the solo baby. And so the solo baby is just around in there, bouncing around, doing whatever him or her doing whatever it does. And then they say, okay, you know, there's the heartbeat, there's the baby, and it's good to go. So let's find the twins. So they go over, they pan over to the sack, and they're roaming around, and then all of a sudden it kind of looks blankish in that area. So then she says, I'm going to take my mask down to talk to y'all, and I'm going to let you know that unfortunately the 3 babies that we initially saw on your first visit, your identical twins, are no longer there. And so, of course, that was a very tough and emotional conversation to have. And even the doctor herself got emotional, and her, you know, she got a little teary-eyed herself. And so they were instantly sad about that. Now, Shane was sad, but at the same time, y'all could kind of see a little bit of weight lift off his shoulders, because he can figure out how to raise one child, and you know, he might can look up on enough income to support 4 kids versus these 6 kids that he was instantly about to have. So Lacey just keeps asking him, you know, is he okay? And she's like, and he said, yeah, you know, he's okay. He's more concerned about how she feels. And so, of course, Lindsay is saying that she is completely devastated that she will not be having identical twins, but she is still happy and blessed that she can at least have one, because y'all remember she had to go through that whole little in vitro system to even have the one at all. So they're just happy and blessed for whatever God gives them at this point. And that's pretty much all Shane and Lacey had going on at this point. But y'all know this show brings the drama. So at some point, John ass is going to pop back up, and, you know, they'll have a little more action for us at that time. The last couple is Britney and Marcelino. Britney is celebrating her 30th birthday, and she is turning up for the girls, honey. She gathers all her friends around, and she's pretty much telling them that, you know, she is just so happy that she has come so far from her drug addiction and all of the nasty and negative stuff that she used to do in her past. She was like, y'all can set y'all purse around me now and I won't even touch it. And she was like, but back in the day, girl bye. So, you know, everybody is pretty much just telling her how proud they are of her. And she gets a moment with her little sister Kayla, and Kayla pretty much just told her the raw, honest truth. She said, I'm gonna tell you, like, back in the day, I used to be really ashamed and embarrassed that you were my sister. And, you know, I would always hate that people knew that we were even related or associated with each other. She said, but now you are my role model and you are my idol. It immediately sent Britney into tears. And honestly, it would have sent me into tears too. So, yeah, that's what Kayla said to Britney. And then, so she was doing all of this crying, and she was just saying that she just wants to be the best person that she could be, and she does not want to be like her mom at all. But she said even though she's 30 years old, something in her is still longing for her mother. She has not talked to her mother for her birthday, and she would like to, because she is still that little girl that longs for her mother, but her mother still hasn't gotten her life together. So it just is what it is. Marcelino sees how sad that Britney is, and he's like, we ain't having all that. We not doing all that sad emotional crying today. It's your dirty 30. We about to turn up. So he gathers everybody around to sing happy birthday to Britney. And then she was like, I already know what you're thinking, and you better not do it. Y'all, he picked up that cake, and Britney went and hid behind one of her girlfriends. Y'all, why did Marcelino throw this cake anyway? So he done threw the cake. It slapped Britney in the side of her hair, and then it falls all over the friend. in some kind of way, it just turns into a huge food fight because he done Marcelino done threw cake at Britney ex-girlfriend. I done forgot her name, and then it was just cake everywhere. So Britney runs in the bathroom so that she could try to get the cake out of her hair, and she said that she was pissed because earlier that day she had just spent $130 to get her hair done. So I would have definitely been pissed too. Because men don't, you know, y'all know men don't necessarily understand all the money, the time, and effort that goes into the way we wear our hair. And so Marcelino didn't give a damn about none of that. And so I don't know if Britney was playing or if she was, you know, dead ass serious, but she called Marcelino a bald-headed bastard. And so when she did that, it pissed him off. So he walks out the house to go for a walk down the street. The cameraman trying to follow him, and he's like, nah, just go on. Like, nah, fuck that. She ain't had to disrespect me. She ain't had to call me out my name. Like, I don't even want to be in there. I don't want to deal with her. So So Marcelino got in his feelings and he walked off. And that was pretty much it. Britney ended up having a great dirty 30, and I guess that's where we'll pick back up with them next week. And that was every couple on this particular episode of Love After Lockup. If you enjoyed this video, then definitely hit that like button, that good old thumbs up. If you enjoyed me, then definitely hit that subscribe button, because your girl does drop content at least twice a week. I try to, but you know, at a minimum, I'm definitely dropping these reviews each and every week, so you don't want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And my P-Hope family, y'all already know I want you to be happy, be healthy, be safe. This your girl P-Hope, and I will catch you in the next video.